Mabel was a woman of the night, wild, daring, and dangerously magnetic. In the humid streets of Lagos, under the neon buzz of broken signs and the thick perfume of heat and sweat, Mabel reigned supreme. She was not just any prostitute. She was a legend in her own right. Men flew in from different countries just to spend a night with her. Her beauty was hypnotic, dark smooth skin that gleamed under moonlight, eyes like storm cloud, lips full of secret, and hips that moved like waves in a forbidden sea. She charged high and lived higher. Every night, she would rotate between wealthy politicians, desperate bachelors, and even married pastors cloaked in lies. They all wanted Mabel, and she gave herself freely. So far, the money load is big. With no apology, she bathed in riches, bathed in perfume so strong it lingered long after she left a room. Mabel was the kind of woman who turned heads wherever she went. Her lips and makeup were always on point, her hips swaying like wave in a forbidden sea, and her eyes dared men to sin. By night, she was a queen of the street, draped in tight, sexy clothing. She slept under silky sheets, a luxury funded by men who mistook lust for love. She didn't always live like this. Once, Mabel was a small town girl with big dreams, but city lights and fast money turned dreams into dust. At first, it was just a hustle, escort gigs, some modeling, some private party, but soon the easy cash seduced her, and she became fully entrenched into the world of high-class prostitution. Men worshipped her, politicians, pastors, businessmen, some married, some single, fought to be on her list, but one stood out, Chief Oduru, a wealthy cocoa magnate in his late 50s. He was obsessed with her. He lavished Mabel with everything: expensive wigs, diamond bracelets, designer's gown, and even paid 2 years of rent in a luxury for a luxury apartment in Lekki. But the peak came when Chief brought her a brand new car, Mercedes-Benz GLS. The night he presented the car, he tossed the key to her like a god gifting a mortal. Mabel was so excited, giggling and dancing in her heels as Chief Oduru watched with lustful pride. "You are not just any girl, Mabel," he would say, breathing heavily after their sections. "You are a goddess." But beneath the laughter, the seduction, and the money, there was a void in Mabel, a hole she tried to fill with sex, luxury, and the illusion of freedom. She told herself she was in control. That was until men began to flee her bed in terror. It started with whispers. A senator's son, half crazed, ran naked into the streets, claiming he had been beaten during sex by a snake inside her. At first, it was dismissed as drug-induced hallucination. Then it happened again. One of her former clients was rushed to the hospital, blood dripping down his thigh, screaming that a snake had beaten him in his manhood. Doctors found no snake, but the bite marks were real. Another man, a young banker, fled her apartment screaming about a serpent storm coiled around his manhood. Soon, none of her regular clients would come near her. Men started avoiding her. At first, she thought they were just tired or broke, but then whispers started, rumors that spread like wildfire across the city. It happened again. Her client, a greedy senator who had just finished, had just screamed, grabbing his tongue. "Ah, what is that?" Mabel sat up, startled. "What?" He jumped from the bed, eyes wide with terror. There was a snake, It beat me. Inside you. Mabel blinked. Inside me? He stormed out, half naked, bleeding from his inner thigh. Mabel checked herself. Nothing. No marks. No snake. Mabel was terrified, scared and intensely worried. She quickly dressed up and dashed out of the hotel, jumped into her car, trying to figure out what was happening to her. Fear settled in her bone. She started visiting different spiritualists, native doctors, and even pastors cloaked in lies. They will anoint her, give her soap, black powders, and bathe her in different rivers. But nothing changed. Instead, her condition became worse day by day. Her laughter disappeared. She drew pale. Her phone stopped ringing. The queen of the street has become a pariah. She decided to confide in Michael. Michael was her only real friend in city, a calm, thoughtful man. They had grown up together in Ajegule, surviving hunger, stray bullets, and heartbreaks. Michael had been her one safe space. Mabel arrived at Michael's house since his numbers were not going through. Upon reaching Michael's house, he was greeted by a beautiful young lady named Rita, Michael's fiancée. Rita welcomed Mabel into the house and was told that Michael was traveling out of the country for a job. Rita, seeing how Mabel was worried, persuaded her into telling her what had been happening to her because she looked ill. Rita, dumbfounded and shocked after hearing Mabel's story, promised to help her the next day. They traveled to the Remo village to a shrine hidden in the hill. There lived Mama Ireti, a blind priestess who spoke to spirits. Mama Ireti touched Mabel's belly and screamed, "This one carries a snake spirit. You have been cursed." Mama Ireti screamed. Mama Ireti gave her a small pot containing foul-smelling water and told Mabel to take a sip of the water every morning that she would be fine. Mabel was so happy that her suffering would be over finally. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Mabel slowly got her life back, and she slowly went back to her daily life. One fateful day, Mabel stepped out to quickly get her daily supply from the mall close to her house. While shopping, she felt as though she was pressed, but she decided to hold on till she gets home. A few seconds later, it felt like she was about to urinate on herself, so she immediately dashed into the shopping mall restroom. She sat on the toilet and relieved herself. Immediately, she put her hand to clean down there. She felt a sharp pain and something gripping her hand. Unable to move her hand, screaming in pain, trying to look down there, behold, what she saw made her scream louder. Mabel woke up, one of her fingers wrapped in a bandage, surrounded by some unrecognized faces, surrounded by doctors and nurses. "You were rushed into the hospital yesterday evening in a pool of blood. Can you recall what happened? Should we call the police?" one of the doctors explained. Everyone in shock, still wondering what happened or who she had a fight with because one of her fingers was bitten off. Mabel, struggling in pain, couldn't wrap her head on what she saw yesterday, pretended like she couldn't recall what happened yesterday. Michael, who heard about what happened through the media, rushed to the hospital. Mabel was discharged later that day. Michael took Mabel over to his house so that he would properly look after her. Mabel finally summoned the courage to tell Michael what happened in the toilet. Michael, in shock after listening to Mabel's story. Michael rushed Mabel to the church where it was revealed that her personal belonging was confined in a man's house. Without waiting for the pastor to finish talking, Mabel quickly rushed out of the church, dragging Michael along. "I know who is behind this," she said to Michael, recalling that the only client she usually meets up with in his private house was Chief Oduro, coupled with the fact that he just got her a car and suddenly stopped talking to her was suspicious. Mabel shouted, "Michael, please, let's go." Michael replied shouting, "Go where? We should have waited for the pastor to finish." Mabel shouted again, "Please drive, Michael. We don't have time. Please take me to Chief Oduro's residence, fastening her seatbelt." On approaching Chief Oduro's residence, Michael and Mabel saw a familiar car driving out. Michael, in shock, cried out, "Is this not Rita's car?" Mabel and Michael staring at each other, confused. What is Rita doing here? Surprised and shocked, Michael immediately brought out his phone to record Rita. Mabel and Michael started to trail Rita's car, forgetting the main reason they came to Chief Oduro's residence. Rita finally got to her destination, Michael's house. Rita, relaxing in Michael's sitting room, tried to call Michael but was surprised to see him driving into the compound also. Mabel and Michael got into the sitting room. In disappointment, Michael brought out his phone, showing Rita the video and asking for an explanation of what she was doing there. "He is a ritualist. I hope you didn't sleep with him." Mabel jumped in. "Please stop it," Rita shouted. "Chief Oduro is my uncle, and I quickly dropped off a document for him to sign." Rita bringing out her phone to show proof that Chief Oduro was indeed her uncle. "What were you guys doing in my uncle's house?" Rita asked, surprised. Michael, who felt a bit relieved that it was not what he was thinking, explained everything about Mabel's predicament to Rita. Rita, engulfed in anger and bitterness, answered, "You think I don't see the way both of you look at each other?" Rita had watched from the shadow for months as Michael treated Mabel. She saw the closeness, the inside joke, the protective way he looked at Mabel, the softness in his voice when he said her name. Rita burned in jealousy. No matter how loyal Michael was to her, she feared Mabel would somehow seduce him, so she turned to something darker. She visited a shrine hidden deep in a forest. Rita planned with a powerful priestess to lock Mabel's home, not in the physical sense, but spiritually. The ritual was designed to cause torment to any man who dared slept with her. The spell took the form of a servant born to her body, hidden under a roast by loss. Every man who touched her would be beaten. Every bite would drain a piece of her power, her pride, her soul. And it worked. Confused and terrified, Mabel began to unravel her memory. That's when her mind wandering back to Michael. He has once told her how uncomfortable Rita felt about their closeness, how Rita accused Mabel of seducing him with her eyes. Mabel had laughed it off, but now it wasn't funny. She remembered something strange 2 months ago. Rita had insisted on making her tea during a girls' night. After the tea, Mabel had started feeling strange. Her dreams changed from that day. She kept seeing snakes glittering through her bed and into her body. The truth came crashing down like a bolt of lightning. Fueled by rage and betrayal, Mabel cried and shouted, "Why, Rita? Why would you do this to me?" Rita smiled, cold and unapologetic. "You think I didn't see the way Michael looked at you? You think I'll let you have him? I cursed your body so no man would ever want you again. It's called Abana, snake spirit. You'll never find peace in a man's bed." Mabel longed at her, screaming, crawling, weeping. She stepped closer, smiling. "You don't deserve him. You don't deserve peace." Slapped her, but Rita didn't flinch. "Go ahead," Rita whispers. "Slap this other side too if you want," turning the other side of her face. "You should thank me now you are clean. No more hoeing around." She dashed into the room, came out with a black pot, saying, "Don't forget the snake inside you listening to me." Mabel immediately remembered what the pastor said, that her personal belonging was confided in a man's house. Michael was in surprise. "How did that pot enter my house?" he screamed, facing Rita. Michael angrily collected the pot, smashing it to the floor. The story ends not with salvation, but with betrayal. 1 month later, Rita was rushed to the hospital, screaming of snakes crawling through her home. No one believed her. The doctor said it was psychotic break. Michael broke up the engagement, and Mabel, she disappeared for a while, but when she returned, it wasn't as a prostitute.